Hey guys, Steak here for Games Defined, and in this tutorial we're going to be texturing this fountain. Now if you followed the fountain tutorial, then hopefully you've modeled it, which is brilliant. So I'm going to supply the materials that I use so that if you want to follow along and carry on actually texturing it with me, that's great. Otherwise, if you want to keep watching and learn, that's great as well. It's up to you. So first thing we're going to do is go to the material editor and apply your material with this little box next to diffuse. Double click the bitmap and click stone 2. Next thing we're going to do is select the base and click assign material. Make sure that you're actually selecting the right thing. Yep. So you've got this. Next thing you're going to do is add a UVW modifier like that, and then these options here are basically the kind of mesh that you're applying this modifier to. So planar is just a plane, cylindrical, cylinder, sphere, spherical is a ball, shrink wrap. It pretty much wraps around your object. The box is obviously the box, so that's the one we're going to use. The face, it applies it to every face on your model, which can be good, but for this we're just going to use box, and you can adjust the height, the width and the length. The bigger these numbers are, the more stretched or the bigger the texture is going to appear. So we're just going to go for a low one at 100 each, like that. That looks good. And then drag it onto the base as well, and then just add the modifier again. And I think we're just going to stick with planar because that is basically all it needs. So let's say 40, let's see how that looks. No, 100. I think that looks pretty good. Maybe lower. Yep, that looks great. Next thing we're going to do is for these bowls, so just drag and drop this material onto an empty slot and just rename it, and then just press the M button and select the bitmap stone 2 light. That's just a shortcut for you instead of having to navigate to there again. And then just select the bowls and drag it on like that. Now we need to add the UVW modifier again. Select them all, it's a lot faster. UVW map, click box, and sometimes that happens. Cylindrical box, let's see, 40 each. That looks alright to me. That looks like that is fine. And the same, actually it's applied it to all of them, which is a bonus. That is simple as that. Now the wood, they just drag it along again and rename it, and just gonna do the same for the rope and the metal, so just drag it along. Rope, metal, so just the wood, find the texture which you will have. I'm going to use the one you've got, like I said. Just drag it on like that. Actually select these two as well, because these two have this applied. Then in UVW map just click box like that. That's good. Now the rope, same thing, but we're gonna use fabric, the white fabric that you've got, and just select all the rope and just drag it on, apply. You don't need to alter this one. And then for the metal, select it all and first get the material. Metal, just use this one like that and just drag it on. This one, because we're looking at it from quite far, doesn't need altering. Now I'm going to add a little bit of realistic material, so selecting any of these two, click go to parent, you should get to this stage, click maps and then click none next to bump, normal bump, none again next to normal, and then bitmap, and click your normal map. And now if we scroll down, if we get to this stage again, if you untick bump, you'll see a little bit of a difference. So you can up that. I'm just going to up that to 80 like that, and then the same for specular level. Click non bitmap, then click your specular map and you'll see a difference like that. And just drag it down to the lighter stone, and then we'll have to rename that again. Then just click stone 2 and select the second stone like that. That is all you need for that. So now we're going to do a little bit of a lighting studio. So we're going to go to left mode and get the line tool and draw a line down like that and then across like that, and then selecting the number, click number 1 on your keyboard to get vertex mode. Scroll down, click fillet and fillet this little corner here till you get the bend you want like that. That's looking good. And in perspective mode you'll have this, so then come out of vertex mode and scroll down to extrude like that, and then just extrude this out and yeah, just place it there like that. That's that. So if you right click this, actually before you do that, in the material editor, click the new slot, click standard, and then under V-Ray first, if you click, you should get the render setup. Under common, scroll down to assign renderer, click this little thing here and then click your V-Ray advanced like that, and then again do it for the bottom. You don't have to, but that's what I always do. Click the little cross because you don't need that anymore, and then click standard, V-Ray and V-Ray material and just drag it on like that. Now you can right click this object, go to object properties, click it first would help. Then we're just gonna freeze this. Uncheck frozen in, show frozen in grey because we don't want that. Click OK. Now we can no longer select this. In fact, what we'll do is do the same for this object as well. Object properties, freeze, uncheck show frozen in grey, so that we're no longer disturbing this. Now we're going to go to lights, change photometric to V-Ray and click V-Ray light, and top view, if you just, I'm going to go for this side, just draw out a light like that, and in perspective just place it above like that. Holding shift, press F, and you'll see the render view that you'll get. So in render setup, I'm just going to change this, so you can do that under output size. If you click HDTV, it gives you this resolution, and I'm just going to use 1280 by 720 and then just cross it off like that. So if you come out of there and use this for perspective mode, in this one that you've got, click shaded and change that to realistic, and you should have that. So in the modify panel you can change the multiplier to go down, not as bright, and you can change the color and the temperature, which is the higher it is, obviously it has different values. So I'm just going to use color, just keep it at white like that, and it's all about rendering it to see what the texture is like, see if you like the lighting. So just going to render this, or you can press F9. Okay, so that's that, and as you can see, this basically has no lighting at all because lighting is just coming from the top. So what we're going to do is add a light on both sides. So firstly, if you just select the light and click targeted, and you can move this target up like that, and then in front mode needs to turn that around a little bit like that, and then just hold the light, select the light, hold shift and just drag this across, and you'll see it's kept its target like that. And then just do the same thing over here for that side, copy and change the multiplier if you want. Let's just see. So let's do 10, and I'm just going to change the color. Actually, I'll use temperature and then just have an orange color, and then on the other side change the temperature to have a bluish color, change that down, and now render to see what we have. So this is what this render looks like, and it's a bit too bright on either side and you still can't see the front of that. So we're just going to edit this again. So change the value of this one down, say 10. These ones down, I'm going to put that down to 5, and the same with this one. I'm just going to add a little light in the front. And angle it to the side a little bit. Let's turn that down to very low, maybe 2. And in the render setup you can help the quality of this, so stuff like in V-Ray, if you scroll down to, let's see, where is it, color mapping, change linear to Reinhard and click clamp output and sub pixel mapping. These two need to be paired. You can also turn on global illumination and change the second one to light cache, and so what else, radiance map, like that. Once you've got those settings, just render again. So this is how this one turned out. As you can see, it's a lot better, and you can now actually see all the detail on this front section. So that took about 3 minutes to render on my computer. It might be faster or slower on yours depending on your specs. So that is basically how to render that. You can save it by pressing this button, but I'm not going to do that because I've already got it. So that's all you need to do. I hope you've learned a lot in this tutorial and had fun, and I'll see you next week for another tutorial. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you later.